Hello and welcome to a new episode of the Slip Cordon. I'm joined by my co-host Peter Boyd and also by Irish international Mary Waldron, who's also an ICC panelist for the development umpires, and Stephen Doheny, Wolves and Leinster Lightning player. Welcome, guys.
Hello.
Hello, thanks for having us.
Not at all. You're very welcome, guys, to the show. I suppose the easiest place to kick off is both of you have experience of playing down under. It's the main reason we've got you up very early in the morning, Mary. Stephen, late in the evening. Can I start with you, Mary? What is the benefit of playing in the conditions down under, and how have they benefited you in your career?
For me, mainly the volume of cricket actually has been the benefit. I really took it up seriously in my mid-20s, so I did have a 20-year catch-up or 15-year catch-up on a lot of people. So for me, it's just the volume of games and obviously more opportunities to learn and make mistakes and that kind of stuff. Obviously, cricket here is quite a big deal, and it's there's plenty to watch as well. I'm based in Adelaide now, so I go watch cricket regularly as well, which is brilliant for me.
And what about you, Stephen? Had you already always planned on going and playing club cricket in Australia?
Not always, no. As I finished school, I think I'd planned on going to college, but quickly realised that I'd much prefer to go to Australia. Yeah, the opportunity is so great to play, like Mary said, such a high volume of cricket. I think is such a good opportunity because we don't get to really play games during the winter unless you're fortunate enough to go on a tour or whatever. So the chance to play matches and stuff during the winter is obviously huge for us.
And I suppose one thing to follow up on with that, as well as the volume of games, how different are the conditions and how different are the circumstances that you're playing those games under?
Well, in regards to club cricket, they play multi-day cricket in Sydney anyway. So it's based like Saturday to Saturday, 2-day game, 2 innings. So that's obviously a great opportunity for club players to play a long format of cricket, which we only get in first class cricket here. So that's obviously a major difference. In terms of the conditions, I think the wickets are obviously much harder due to the weather and whatsoever. So your back foot game and stuff like that, but it's also really aggressive. I find I think that's just the Aussie way of playing, I suppose. It's so aggressive, and I found that was a difference for me anyway.
Mary, do you find the same kind of stuff in women's cricket in Australia? Like, are they more aggressive? Or
well, I was about to say I'd love to play on those Saturday wickets. We play on Sunday wickets, not as bouncy, but it's still it's pretty aggressive. It does women's cricket still. Adelaide is a smaller state compared to the other states. It's similar enough to Leinster, I guess, in the player pool. So if the state players aren't playing, the level drops again, but it's still you can see the difference of that kind of player pathway here, and when the professional players do come back into the system, it is quite a jump in standard, and actually it's great to see because they come back and play, and the girls watch them play on TV. So it's a real aspiration for club players here that they can, if they have a good season, they could potentially be full-time cricketers the next season. So yeah, absolutely. As I say, it is aggressive, but I'd love those Saturday wickets, as would all female cricketers around the world, I reckon.
And you mentioned professional cricketers there. Our own Kim Garth just signed a 2-year deal. You must be sad to see her go, but happy for her at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I was probably always on the cards with Kim. Probably thought it would have been England, not Australia, but yeah, look, it's a brilliant opportunity, and you can't pass it up. I know there's talk about money and all that kind of stuff, but the lifestyle around cricket here is something that we can never replicate at home. So, you're training day in, day out in the sunshine, you get to play, she might play her home games in the MCG. I mean, you can't turn that kind of thing down. So obviously, I know Matthew Mott very kindly said that hopefully to put pressure on Cricket Ireland to contract more players and stuff like that, but that is something that realistically will need to happen to hold on to the better players. We don't see, Gabby or Orla head off that direction in the next few years. But I see two Scottish players got regionally contracted in the UK, so I mean that's a pathway to play for England as well. So it's happening more and more. So there'll have to be some serious discussions taken by the powers that be.
In the meantime, you can keep playing.
Yes, yeah, that's what I said. My brother actually, who, shall we say, he was more of a fan of my soccer career than my cricket career, but he put in the it was RTE, I think, were like, oh, World Cup hopes dashed by Kim Garth. And I was like, I'm still playing. It's okay, brother.
We always need that supportive family around us at
Yeah.
times like that.
Yeah.
And I suppose, you know, for the men's game, Stephen, like we're further down the line with that pathway and the way it's happening. Is it something that's ever tempted you to play or to look at something like that playing down under, or you see a clearer pathway for yourself here in Ireland?
Well, personally, for myself, playing for Ireland is the most important thing. Yeah, looking at the guys that played county cricket in previous years, that was ultimately a goal. But playing for Ireland has always been my main goal anyway. Obviously there are greater opportunities abroad, and whether it be in England or Australia or whatever, but I've always been happy to be based in Rush and play in Leinster and hopefully play for Ireland.
Yeah, you've played a good bit for Leinster now. Do you think that your travels down under will help you do even better when we do get cricket underway in Dublin?
I was hoping so before the 3.5-month break. But no, I mean, obviously Leinster is a very competitive team to get into. There's so many internationals and even guys that aren't internationals that are still quality players, you know. So yeah, I mean, it's good because it keeps me on my toes, but it's hopefully, yeah, for my own sake, I'd love to play, but yeah, see how it goes.
And Mary, just going back to you, you're also a high-level umpire. You're so multi-talented, football, then cricket, and now umpiring. So, you know, tell us a little bit about getting picked on that ICC, you know, shortlisted on the development panel. What does that actually entail, and what does that mean for your career?
Well, yeah, it kind of came as a little bit of a surprise, to be honest. But I guess with the opportunities now for females around the world in sport, we do get those kind of opportunities. So it was brilliant. It's a nice kind of title to have. But it just gives me opportunity. I mean, the ICC and certainly the ICC Europe have given me opportunity to umpire in men's cricket. I've done a few tournaments, but I feel like if I wasn't playing, I might get a few more opportunities being on the development panel. But obviously through women's cricket, but with playing, I maybe they're not selecting me, but I just don't think I can do it at the minute, which would make sense. But that has given me the opportunity to be on the state panel here in Adelaide as well. So I've been able to do second and level games here. I do fourth umpire for the BBL, so I have to tell all the superstars to not walk on the pitch before the game, so that's fun. And then I've been on field for WBBL and WNCL here. So the fact that I am on that panel, they kind of respect it here, shall we say, in Australia. So I have been able to move up the ranks here too, as well as my opportunities with Cricket Leinster. And,
brilliant. And now, be honest. Were you more starstruck when you were facing? I don't want to name a name because I don't know who your absolute favorite player that you. Mary, by the way, will really, really adore other players on other teams and think they're amazing. You know, she's one of those that really looks up to the opposition. But was it more? Were you more starstruck playing against someone or umpiring them?
That's a wonderful question. I think in both. I've not really thought about that. Darn it. I feel like I go into a zone doing both.
Yeah.
Oh yes, Stephen.
We've set you up here, right? Stop.
It was Stephen.
Yeah.
It was I was like, no. It was actually I was embarrassed because I should have known when I took his cap for when he bowled it over to know his bowling style. I had to ask him. I think that was very embarrassing.
You're not the only one that doesn't know.
Can I ask you, seeing things like the opportunities Mary's getting with umpiring, and it's becoming kind of more of a thing that players go into. Kevin O'Brien said that as soon as he stops playing, he sees his future in umpiring. Is it something that you'd be attracted to in the future? Maybe once, I know it's a long way away, your playing career is a long way, but in the end, do you think you might think about it?
Yeah, I mean, it's it's obviously a very interesting aspect of the game. I think as players, we always think we know a lot more than what the umpires do. So I think, yeah, but as a player, I think I'd like to think you'd have a decent idea. Obviously, I know it's different when you're doing it on a consistent basis, but no, it's not something I've actually really thought about. I really enjoy coaching, so maybe that avenue would be one I'd like to explore. But I'm sure umpiring, yeah, maybe.
Easy, Mary. It's just easy,
Yeah.
okay?
Oh, I'm
Easy,
not
yeah.
saying it's easy.
I'm only joking, Stephen. I'm just trying to stoke up the fire between you here.
As soon as you started saying players know what they're doing, I was like, nah.
Yeah.
Mary, have you thought of that? Who you're most starstruck by? Yes, we gave you a bit of time.
Yeah, I honestly, I know I was so intently listening to Stephen. My apologies.
I will let you off.
So, Mary, what is the ultimate goal now when it comes to the umpiring? What's the plan there now for the next few years?
I think if I can, obviously it's a weird one. I know this week people have been giving out with Cricket Ireland about fixtures and stuff like that and losing players, but it affords me, I can come out here for the next, for half the season without missing. So if I can do even, I don't know what's going to happen this season, obviously with COVID and travel, etc. We'll see where we end up. But if another year on the state panel here, I am 36. I know I look very fresh face this morning, but I am 36. So obviously I will then have to finish playing soon enough, whether Ed doesn't pick me or my body doesn't go on any longer. So that will give me more opportunity to umpire women's cricket, which will give me opportunity to umpire at higher levels. So I mean, ultimately I'd love to do a test match and World Cup finals and stuff, but that's obviously another 2 or 3 years away.
Yeah, I suppose the way to look at it is that they're the ultimate goals, but you're not in any rush considering that you're still playing at the moment.
No, it's weird, and I could, I'd be a millionaire if people told me, if I retire, when I retire, I'd be whatever. But I just love playing so much, and I mean, I can see it, I understand it, and I can see that I miss out on stuff. But as Isabel knows, that I'm a bit of a cricket nuffy, and I love playing. My stats may not agree if you look at them on paper, but I love trying, and I love trying to get better at cricket. And I think that's what attracted to me in the first place, is that even if you train so hard, you can still get out first ball, and there's always something new to learn about the sport and stuff like that. So, yeah.
That's brilliant. I love that passion for the game. And look, just going back to you, Stephen, we mentioned your wicket keeping earlier on. You tried your hand, and it was something you did when you were younger, or you just took it up when you went to Australia?
No, I used to keep when I was younger. Had a couple of seasons at Rush doing it. Wasn't the best. I was obviously always concentrating on my batting or whatever. So, but I just thought going to Australia that there's an opportunity there to, I guess, add another string to my bow and giving myself the best chance of being picked for Ireland in the long run. So I thought I'd give it a go. I started off really raw, but the guys at Randwick were really good. There was a few keeping coaches there and stuff, and they were great to me. They helped me out a lot. And then I was fortunate enough on the Wolves tour to South Africa. Well, I say I was fortunate, but obviously a few other guys were less fortunate, being injured and being sick and whatnot. But I got to keep in 3 of those games, and I felt like it went well. And I know I have a lot to work on, but yeah, I think it's best chance, and give myself more of a chance to play. Why not?
Any specific tips for wicket keeping for Stephen?
Keepers Union, I think that's great. Just keep your head over the ball. Yeah. And don't obviously I made my international debut at 26 as a keeper, so I think you're grand. Yeah, enjoy. What a great place to be.
Yeah.
It's only the second best place to watch the match, really, isn't it? Aside from being the umpire.
You read me well.
Right, guys, we're going to finish now with a quick fire round. Okay, so this is a new addition.
They've gone really well so far, Izzy, haven't they? The quick fire answers.
Exactly. So we just got to say what comes to mind, Mary. No waiting and listening to Stephen.
Oh no. You can cut out.
So quick fire questions. Stephen, during lockdown, what were your Netflix binge worthy seasons that you were watching?
I love The Last Dance. I think any sports fan out there has got to get on it straight away.
Yeah, that's the easy answer, Mary, I'm afraid. What are you going for second?
I rewatched Dead to Me. I can't remember.
Okay, that's all right. You got it.
Yeah.
I don't have a TV, so I did watch Netflix, but obviously just to lose myself.
Should we explain to people that wasn't the computer freezing? That was just Mary trying to think of an answer to that question.
It's like, what did I watch on Netflix? I'm like looking at the screen beside me for inspiration. And
Okay, this is the slowest quickfire round ever.
Did you stay fit during the lockdown, during COVID-19?
Mary?
Me?
Mary?
I did lots. Cricket Ireland sent us a running program, so we did running. We did an online fitness class. I went running on the beach. I lived beside the beach. I went swimming, played basketball, bit of hockey, bit of soccer, some tennis. We had a very little lockdown here. We were lucky.
Yeah. What about you, Stephen?
Mostly cycling and running.
Very good. And
Nice
last
and
one,
quick.
a new thing that you've learned or upskilled during lockdown. I'll go with Stephen first. Anything new that you've done? Have you? Oh, you can say nothing, you know.
No, nothing.
Did you do any online courses, Stephen?
No. I tried to start one on programming, so I'm studying enterprise computing at the minute in college. So I tried to do a programming online course, and I lasted about 3 days and packed it in.
Too much sun.
Yeah.
What about you, Mary?
I didn't learn anything new, but I refreshed a lot of skills. I actually did a lot. For our Players Association, I did a lot of kind of admin stuff for that, just to keep ticking over.
So you guys are just making people feel better about the fact that lots of people haven't upskilled, and like two elite athletes like you, if you haven't upskilled, then everyone else doesn't need to either. Great.
It's fantastic. I don't need to learn that new language, or I don't feel bad that I didn't run the marathon in my back garden or anything at all. It's fantastic.
No, I did brush up on my French. My degree is in French and Italian. I did learn some more French, but because I obviously finished university 50 years ago. I should show you these cards. Actually, I did learn something new. I'm sorry. You can't see them.
You can't see them, unfortunately.
They're my makeshift not out cards for when I do my TV umpiring lessons online. Sorry, so I did learn something new.
I always I always think you can't be more of a cricket nerd, and then you just prove me wrong. It's brilliant. It's always surprising me.
I don't really know, other than if we're practicing French, I'll say merci beaucoup. And thank you very much for joining us on this edition of the Slip Cordon. To Stephen Doheny, Mary Waldron, for Isabel Joyce and myself, Peter Boyd. Thanks again for joining us on the Slip Cordon. We'll see you again next time. Take care.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Ciao.
Thanks very much.